Hey there, everyone. This is the author Andrew Snorton. Let's sit back and enjoy this roundtable with a few of the participating authors and the lead coordinator for the Rockford's Authors Unit, taking place on September 11th. So check it out. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is the author Andrew Snorton. A lot of you see me out and about for different festivals, events, and what have you. And definitely, if you catch me on my weekly chat, the Fast 15, as well as my full broadcast show, The Conversation Corner, which airs every second and fourth Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Status Network, you see me cover a little bit of everybody. Well, today I'm really excited because not only am I able to talk about an event that I'm going to be participating in virtually, but I've got three wonderful authors and a great visionary mind who are going to sit back and talk about it. So I want you guys to take notes, click share, send, whatever, because you don't want to miss this event that's coming up on September 11th. So before we get into the details of the event, I want you to get acquainted with some of the participating authors are here. So we're going to start with the elegant and classy woman that is sitting there on the left-hand side with the scarf. Could you let us know your name, where you're based out of, and some of the best ways people can find out more about the work you're doing?
Hi, Andrew. I'm so honored to be hanging out with you this evening, as well as my fellow authors and Miss Brandy. My name is author Ria Angelica Jones. You can reach me via Facebook, author Ria Angelica Jones. You can reach me on Instagram, author Ria Jones. I am just honored to be here, and I'll tell you a little bit more about myself as we get moving.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for being here. Next, we're going to go to our fellow holding it down for the men authors here. We got to stand up like the Wonder Twins. We got to activate. Royce, tell people a little bit about where you're based out of and some of the best ways people can get connected and find out more about the work you're doing.
Well, as you said, I'm Royce Dixon. I'm based right out of here in Rockford, Illinois. You can find me on Facebook at Royce Dixon Sr. On Facebook, and author Royce Dixon on Instagram, author Royce Dixon on Twitter. I'm also have my own website for my clothing line, beblessedbrand.com. That's BEBLESSED brand.com. So any one of those three.
Awesome. So you got it all. You got the books and the merch. So it's like another fellow merch person in here. Sounds good. Next up, we have LaKyla. Did I pronounce that correctly? LaKyla.
Yes, you did. Thank you.
LaKyla, give people a little bit of background, where you're based out of, and some of the best ways people can stay connected and find out more about the work you're doing.
Okay, I'm LaKyla Tellis. I am a Chicago native, currently residing in Rockford. I'm a registered nurse, a newly published author of Excuse Your Excuses. I am on Facebook at LaKyla Tellis Speaks. LaKyla is LaKhila, Tellis Tellis. Again, LaKyla Tellis Speaks. Instagram, I'm at iconic_voice. That's my company name, Iconic Voice LLC. My website is www.lakylatellis.com. Check me out.
Well, I tell you what, definitely, like they say, you people have their share of moving parts. So we appreciate you taking time out of one set of moving parts to talk about the writing moving parts. So thank you so much. And our next person who's going to be a part of our chat is Brandy, Brandy stands for brainchild, apparently. So Brandy, tell folks a little bit about, and I think this is a good segue, Brandy, let people know who you are, where you're based out of, and talk with us a little bit about this great way for authors, readers, and more to get connected, especially on September 11th.
Well, like you said, I'm Brandy Morris of Lady Works. I'm from Chicago. I'm based out of Rockford, Illinois. I have a location opening in Las Vegas, Nevada, in October. I help people to brand, start, market, and conduct business. I teach people the ins and outs of business. I love what I do. I'm a film and music producer. I work with NBC and different places like that. But again, I also run my own company, to which it lends me to lend myself to people like Rhea, Royce, and Kyla, who I think are extremely dope, as well as other authors all over the world. I started this event because I have these people, and I think they're really cool, and I think their books are really cool. And I think that books are still a thing, which is what I hashtag in the event page. The books are still a thing, and being able to read a physical book is pretty cool. And I think it's something we should give back to kids. And I started out with Rhea as one of my first authors, and I just thought everything about her book was really cool. Her ideas, and the little boy was being a boy, and she wanted to express what children go through. As well, she works with children. So, and she was a kid, and she speaks her story through her book, and I love it. And it, I think that it will help a lot of children. Royce, I like the fact that he was just being himself, and he was telling his true story, and it helped a lot of men to open up. And one of his other books is Hidden Feelings, which is what he talks about in this current book, and the book that came following after, I believe. LaKyla, I just love the whole title of Excuse Your Excuses. And because it helps people to understand that, you know, you make excuses, but then you have to own up to what it is you have going on. You take responsibility for what you have going on, and then you get past those excuses and you move on. And so I felt like if they had stories like this, then I'm sure it's a ton of other stories out here in the world. And the fact that I love to write and direct, I'm like looking at all of these books, thinking to myself, I can make these some Lifetime movies. So that was just, and I just like to help people to get their process furthered along than what it may be. And so that's what this ended up being, just working with people all over.
And that's awesome that you walked through that. So you already have a connection because of the writing that you do related to film. And like you said before, when you found out about, you know, these talented people, these good people, number one, and then talented people, like, wait a minute, if I've already discovered these types of talented authors, there's got to be more out there. So walk through with us the process and really putting everything together for September 11th, because it really sounds like it's going to be a really powerful day, not only for participating authors, but just anybody who's able to participate. So walk through that with us.
I think that the cool part about all of this is Zoom. So before COVID hit, we were actually filming a show by the name of Relevant Conversations, and we were actually meeting with celebrities via FaceTime to keep them from having to fly out. So the whole concept of Zoom, I love, and it helps us to connect with people that we wouldn't necessarily connect with. So while we have people that's coming from Tampa and coming from Las Vegas, and you are coming from where you're coming from, and you have people that's going to be coming from Chicago, but they're coming from all these places, all on the television screen. And it makes it something worth having, because these people, everybody who logs on to get to hear about each other, and they'll get to include everybody that they know. And these people can buy books and or they can come in person, and they'll be able to purchase their books and get their photos and book signed and all that other good stuff.
Well, that's cool. Like you said, that a lot of people are blending technology and traditional. So like you said, for the people who are technology driven, it's a way to kind of connect with everybody. And like you said, you can virtually go ahead and do your purchase and what have you. But then for the traditionalists, hey, if you're right there in Rockford, the interlocking areas, just like, you know, just pull up and come and just see and listen. So that's really amazing. I want to pivot to hear from the participating authors that are here tonight, starting with LaKyla. Walk through with us, and if you can, as best as possible, hold up your book, but as best as possible, walk through with us the title of the book and a couple of key themes that your book covers.
Okay, well, this is my book, Excuse Your Excuses. And I'll tell you the chapter's names. How about that? You have chapter 1, which is yesterday. Yesterday was my story of where everything happened. That's why I chose that title. It was in the past. That was my yesterday. Chapter 2 is choices. So that part, obviously, we know what choices are, but it's identifying those choices and knowing that you have the ability to make a choice and having a choice. Chapter 3 was love yourself, or it is love yourself. It's important that you know that you have to love yourself before anyone else can love you, and it's a part of healing. Chapter 4 is unique. A lot of people in different age groups, not just children or teenagers, have a struggle with understanding that you are unique and you need to accept that. You have to be aware that that's important and that's what makes you special. And don't be afraid to be different. That's what really makes you stand out. And chapter 5 is be great. So once you've gone through all the other 4 chapters, now chapter 5 brings it all together to let you know what greatness you have within you and how to utilize that greatness.
Wow. I tell you what, and like you said, each chapter taps in, like you said, not only just for youth, that's just for anybody. That's for anyone. And I'll say this, in addition to, being able to put those types of things out there to make people pause and think, if they don't remember anything else, what's one takeaway that you want readers or viewers to have, whether it's book related or just in general?
Well, I would say both. One is, I want it to be both in general and book related. Find a way to heal. Let go of the hurt, the pain, the trauma for yourself. I know a lot of people have trouble forgiving and forgetting. The point is to heal. You have that option. You deserve to heal. That's the biggest thing. You will feel so much better once you lift that burden.
I'll tell you what, those are some great messages. And we're definitely, before we wrap up, we're definitely going to circle back and remind people of your info. Royce, let's go ahead and pivot to you. Share with us the book that you're featuring for this event and touch base with us, a couple of key themes that your book covers.
The title of the book is Blessed While Broken. It's a story about my wife and I, who were married for 18 years before we got divorced, and then getting remarried again and learning how to reconnect once again. We were married when we were 20 years old, so we were still kids, and we had kids, so we're growing up with our kids and doing everything with them, and we forgot some of the basic things to do to keep a relationship going, such as dating, talking to each other daily, on a daily basis, and just coming together as a couple. So we found ourselves, after dropping our son off to college, we found ourselves in divorce court. And then months later, I would say, probably not even that long, I realized that I made a mistake in, even wanting to go through with the divorce. So I tried to pursue her, and, at first she didn't want to have anything to do with me. She kept telling me no. But I knew what I wanted. I knew what God had told me to do. And eventually she kind of wore down and we became friends again. After being friends for a while, we got remarried on the same day. Exactly three years later, then we got remarried, and now our relationship is better than ever. We've learned so much from going through the divorce. That's how I can say I was blessed while I was broken.
Wow. And that's a very powerful story from the standpoint of almost like you can, the adage, you can go back home again. And it sounds like that's basically what you were able to do. What would you say, in addition to those themes that you talked about, what would you say would be the key takeaway, whether book related or just something broader, that you'd want people to just kind of take with you and think about?
Well, I think I want people to take away, I want them to think about, it's never too late to restart, hit the reset button and start over on your relationship. You can pause right now and make a conscious decision to want to do better. To choose your mate every day you wake up, you choose your mate in everything that you do and everything that you say in every single way, because everything that you do affects your mate. So when you think of it in those terms, it makes life a little easier, makes being in a relationship easier. We call it as we're a better team. I'm a better teammate than my wife now, because I've learned that I can't win if she loses and she can't win if I lose. You know, either we're going to win together or we're going to lose together, but whatever it is that we're going to do it together. So that's what I want people to take away from this book.
Well, I tell you what, there's that adage that a lot of us have heard about what team stands for: together, everybody achieves more. And there is no I in team. So some of those monikers, you definitely are showing, hey, you know, there's a better way to do things. So, you know, I'm appreciative of you opening up and sharing, you know, your life's journey, so to speak, and using that to help empower others. So thank you, Royce, for putting that together. Seriously. Now we're going to go to Rhea, and Rhea, share with us the book that you have featured. And just like LaKyla, as well as Royce, what are some of the key themes that you cover in your book?
Okay, so I actually have 2 books, and both of them will be featured. They are 2 parts of a series that I'm working on. So the first one is really about karma, and it's for children, and it's really, both books really, my goal was to open up conversations with young children without interrogating them, to find out what they're feeling and what they need from adults. The first one is more about bullying. It's about a little boy who kind of goes through his week taunting other kids. And his mother asks him every day, has he met Karma? It's a little funny story, but she asks him every day, have you met Karma yet? And he says, well, who is Karma? She just tells him, well, you'll find out sooner or later. Well, by the end of the book, he actually gets to understand what she meant when she said was karma, because everything that he was doing comes back to get him. And so it really opens up the dialogue with children of how we treat others and how we feel about the way other people treat us, how we, who's there to help when something is going on, and who can we talk to, who's affected by our behavior. His mother was frustrated. The teacher was frustrated. The kids were hurt. And so these are all conversations that you don't necessarily sit down and just have with the children. But if you read the story to them and you process the book with them, then they can actually come up with these ideas on their own, and they can actually see them from a firsthand point of view, and then kind of relate them to their own lives. The second book is about domestic violence. And this little girl is kind of a story about a little girl who she was the first character in the first book who was taunted by Zai. And so now she has to go home and deal with this whole situation of her parents going through a domestic violence situation. And my purpose for writing the book is so that when adults can sit down and read the book, it may be a child in the class who's going through that, and they can open up and say, hey, this is happening, and nobody knows this is happening, but yeah, that child is me. Or I saw that happening at such and such's house, or something like that. But it just opens up the conversation without interrogating the child or making them feel uncomfortable. And so that's the purpose of my series.
Wow. And like you said before, there are a number of, quote, tough conversations out there, but they're conversations that we have to have. And you're providing a way or a bridge to be able to go ahead and have those talks, which is real important, because like you said, those are still challenges that are out there, and we still have to do what we can to help really do a better job of addressing those challenges. So what I'd like to do as we kind of run it back, and we're going to close out with Brandy, but Rhea, remind people again the best ways to stay connected with you, and give us a key reason why this event on September 11th is so important.
I think that the event is important because it helps to promote entrepreneurship. It helps to promote authors. It helps people understand that books are still important. not just what we see on TV, but actually holding the book physically in your hand is important. And I think that more people, we need to get back to that, because sometimes computers crash, phones crash, electricity goes out, and just, you know, if we just think back about the storms in New Orleans right now, and people not having power, but they might not have power, but they might have a book that they can sit down and read, and that might bring joy to somebody. And so just getting back to actually picking up books and actually reading them and finding other ways to do things besides focused on the TV screens and focus on that. You can reach me by Facebook, author Rhea Angelica Jones, Instagram, author_Rhea Jones, and you can reach me by both of those. Another thing that I just want people to take away from my books is that I just think that as adults, we have to pay attention to our children. They are the future, and if we don't pay attention to them, we are going to be in big trouble later on. It's a lot of social emotional issues going on with our children, and I'm trying to, as you said, build a bridge so that we can actually have conversations. So we definitely need to pay attention to our children.
Well, I tell you what, Rhea, thank you so much for sharing, your stories, reminding people how to stay connected with you, and reminding people about September 11th. Royce, what would you say makes this event so important? And then remind people of the ways that they can stay connected with you.
I think one of the reasons why this event is important is just because, as you see, we have 3 entrepreneurs here. We have 3 brand new authors who, we don't have a big publishing house behind us, backing us, helping us promote, market, and do everything to get our books out, to the masses. So events like this help us greatly, because now you get a chance to meet different people. Rhea may know some people that I don't know. Kyla may know some people that I don't know, and vice versa. So all of us coming together builds this network of people, and then we can bounce ideas off of each other. So it's good to work with good people, good authors, and who you have a bond with. So all these things, coming together just makes this event that much more special to me. So you can reach me on Facebook at Royce Dixon Sr. I also have one of my books, Hidden Feelings, has its own page. I have a children's book out as well, JoJo's Learning Adventure. That's on Facebook. On Instagram, I'm author Royce Dixon. You can reach me by my clothing line, Be Blessed Clothing, or you go to our website, beblessedbrand.com.
Well, I'll tell you what, Royce, I appreciate you taking time not only to share your story, but just remind people, like everybody here, just the importance and power of reading. There's so much that can come from it. So we definitely thank you. LaKyla, again, we just got to try to hit the point home. Why September 11th is so important, and what are the best ways for people to stay connected with you?
Okay, well, Rhea and Royce definitely covered why it's important, but I would like to add to that that it's an opportunity to inspire others. It was not easy becoming an author, going through the process, and I would love to meet people in person, virtually, so I can talk to them and have that conversation. One thing I remember when I did my first book signing, Randy told me off top, that one question was going to pop up. How did you do it? So it's just great for people to actually have the opportunity to be intimate and have a real conversation and to see us in action. So I'm very much so looking forward to people coming out and being online with us as well. I can be reached on Facebook at LaKyla Teller Speaks. Instagram, I'm iconic_voice, and definitely visit my website, www.lakaylatellers.com. I have a lot going on, so please check me out.
Well, I tell you what, LaKyla, thank you so much, for sharing your story, and just like your peers that are there with you, just the importance of reading and the importance of authors supporting authors, readers supporting authors, authors supporting readers, just to stay connected, because there's so many positives can come from it. So we're going to close out with Brandy. Again, I'll kid around. Brandy, aka the brainchild, sitting up there. Brandy, you've got a great event. Remind people the date, the time, the location for people who will be able to come in person, as well as if people are going to take advantage of virtual options, the best ways for people to be able to do that.
Okay, so the event, Rockford Authors Unit, is Saturday, September 11th. It begins at 1 p.m. and ends at 4 p.m. That is live virtual, meaning they will interact live. The people that come on Zoom, they'll interact live with the in-person community. If they want to join via Zoom, they can go to Eventbrite and look up Ladyworks events, and you'll find it. Rockford Authors Unit, sorry. And what else? I can be reached at www.ladyworks1, that's LADIWORKZ1.com. I can be reached on Facebook at Ladyworks, LADIWORKZ, as well as Instagram, LADIWORKZ.
Okay, and there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I tell you what, anytime you get a chance to be around creative people virtually in person, please take advantage of it. There's so much positive energy coming out here. These are some of the great people that you'll get a chance to get connected with. Make sure to stay connected with them individually and collectively, not only for September 11th, but other events that they'll have on the horizon. We're looking forward to being a part of this virtually on September 11th. So to stay connected with me on Facebook, add me at the page Author Andrew Snorton, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, Author A Snorton. You may email me at authorasnorton@gmail.com. And if you add me on Instagram, just click on the link in the bio. That will take you to, it'll take you where you need to go. We'll just put it there politely, of course. So we want to thank everybody who took time out, in Rockford, Illinois, the greater Chicagoland area. Make sure to come out and support this great event. Hopefully this will be the first of a number where authors and readers and the general community can come together, learn, grow, and like they say, build as we climb, because these people that you see right here in their own way, shape, or form are definitely doing some great building and some great work. So that's going to wrap us up. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, all of you take very good care, continued blessings, and don't forget September 11th, 1 to 4 Central Standard Time to stay connected with these great people and a great event. We look forward to seeing you there.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Make sure to be a part of this great event taking place on September 11th from 1 to 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. Make sure to follow up at the contact information provided and be a part of this great event. We'll see you there.